The 10 horns in the beast shall hate the whore. Pursuing to Revelation chapter 17, verse 16 on down. Now, here it is. The beast with the 7 heads and 10 horns is NATO and the EU. And these are the philosophies that America pushes upon these other nations, upon NATO and the EU and the different countries, man. And these countries, they're getting tired of these philosophies that whine. I'm getting tired of America. And now that's why you're seeing right now, as of late, these nations, they're ditching the US dollar. You know, I made a couple videos, you know, about a week ago going into that, right? And I'm just going to shed a little bit more light on it because more information has come out, these different news articles. So I'm going to go into 3 articles today. And yes, I'll post a link in the description. All right, so the beast, which is the 7 heads, okay, and the 10 horns, they're going to go against America. And it's going to start with them ditching the US dollar. And then the final stage is them shooting missiles upon America. And that's what Revelation, the 17th chapter, goes into. Right? But today I'm going to talk about how they're leaving the US dollar. And it's very serious, man. Very serious. Anyway, so before I get started, I just want to give all praises, glory, and honor due unto Yahweh Bahashem Yahweh Shai, Bahashem Rakah HaKwadash, and double honors to the apostles and elders of Great Millstone, GMS, that rule well and that do teach well, that have taught me this truth. To you I say shalom, and shalom to the hopeful elect, and shalom to you brethren, and you few sisters that are out there that are laboring the best way you can in this ministry, Yahweh Shai's ministry. May you be in the good graces of Yahweh Bashem El Shai and kiss the Son lest he be angry, so you can be delivered in these last days, man, because a lot of turbulent and terrible times are ahead, and your faith is what's going to save you. You know, pursuing to Isaiah 33:6, for wisdom and knowledge shall be the stability of thy times, and the strength of thy salvation. Which, for you to have wisdom and knowledge, man, you got to have faith first, right? You know. So, anyways, just keep that in mind. All right, so I'm going to go into Revelation chapter 17, verse 16. And the 10 horns which thou sawest upon the beast, these shall hate the whore. That's right. So I just showed you that. This is the chart that shows you what it is. Okay, these are the tributary states that pay tribute to America. And you see this wicked woman, she's riding that red scarlet beast. So what does that mean? She's in control. You know how she's in control? Because she controls the money. And she has a very powerful military. So that's how they control these different governments on the earth. But real soon, she's going to lose her ability to tame the beast. Because all these nations, man, right now, they're leaving that dollar. And that's going to screw up America, man. Do you know what happens when you lose your dollar? Right? If the dollar is not... If the US dollar is not the world's reserve currency anymore, the buying power of the US dollar will be a lot less. And that's going to cause a lot of problems for you Americans, man. Right? You know, you Americans, starting with you elites, you're in a very unique position of power. Right? You're able to inflate the dollar and do whatever you want, and to manipulate other countries and to make people poor. And the Lord has had enough. The Lord has had enough. And really, the saints have had enough, right? So, going into 2nd Ezra chapter 6, verse 9, for Esau is the end of the world, and Jacob is the beginning of it that followeth. Right now, we're at the end of Esau's world, and what shows that? America going down. America is going down. So, this also shows you that Jake, the underdog, you Israelites, you're about to rule, and nobody sees that. All right, so let's go into... Revelation chapter 17, verse 16, and the 10 horns which thou sawest upon the beast, these shall hate the whore. That's right, they hate the whore. They hate her. Disgusted by her. Because of what she stands for, all the wicked philosophies that they pushed upon the nations. Right? These are the philosophies: democracy, religion, idolatry, homosexuality, lies, adultery, covetousness, murder. Right? For America to be on the top, they had to murder. They murdered a lot of people, and they were very covetous, and there was a lot of idolatry, a lot of witchcraft, and dirty religion and lies, right? Everything that you see here. And now they're prescribing that lifestyle upon these different nations, and now the nations are mad, right? They're upset. And shall make her desolate and naked, and shall eat her flesh and burn her with fire. And that's going to happen in the future. All these nations, NATO and the EU, okay, that beast, they're going to shoot their missiles upon America. Whatever nations, man, have nuclear capabilities, they're going to be the ones that are going to shoot their missiles upon America and make her desolate and burn her with fire. Okay? All right. Now before it gets to that point, what are you seeing? What are you seeing? All these nations, man, they're ditching the dollar. Ditching the dollar. So verse 17, for the Most High hath put in their hearts to fulfill his will and to agree and give their kingdom unto the beast until the words of the Most High shall be fulfilled. That's right. So, this is of the Lord's will. The reason why you're seeing these other nations leaving America, ditching the dollar, and doing business with other serious communist countries like China, right? Which is something that these other nations, they don't like. They don't like communism, a lot of them. They're politicians, right? The puppet leaders. They don't really like communism. But guess what? Because of that disdain for America, they're willing to put their beliefs aside and do business with a very dirty communist country like China and like Russia, right? So it says here, and give their kingdom unto the beast until the words of the Most High shall be fulfilled. So this is all of the will through the will of Hamashiach Yahushai. He put it in their minds. And I'm talking about the leaders of these different countries, the leaders that are a part of, that are in the NATO and the EU, these different countries. The Lord put in their minds to go against them, right? Now I got a precept. This is Isaiah chapter 14, verse 27. For Yahweh of armies, of hosts, hath purposed, and who shall disannul it? And his hand is stretched out, and who shall turn it back? That's right. So, nobody can disannul the will of Hamashiach Yahushai. Whatever the Lord says, it's going to play out, right? It's going to play out. And guess what? It's not going to play out on your time. Matter of fact, I just thought of Habakkuk 2 and 3. I always get this because it's relevant to the times that we're living in. A lot of people think that the Lord is not in control. The Lord is in control, right? The Lord is always in control. And guess what? Everybody serves the Lord. Everybody's in the Lord's pocket, whether indirectly or indirectly. Okay? Just keep that in mind. All right, so this is Habakkuk chapter 2 and 3. For the vision is yet for an appointed time. That's right. So prophecy has an appointment date. But at the end it shall speak and not lie. Though it tarry, wait for it, because it will surely come. It will not tarry. That's right. And the day to the Lord is 1,000 years. So, we're on the Lord's time. And he moves the way he wants to move. And it's going to speak and it's not going to lie, because the Lord is a power that cannot lie. And it may seem like things are tarrying, but it's happening. It's happening. Things are fulfilling as we speak, as we go about our day to day. You just got to look for it. You got to see the signs. And a lot of you people out here, you're not looking at the signs, man. You're worried about the NBA finals. You're worried about hockey night in Canada. You're worried about the next Harry Potter movie. You're worried about your drugs, smoking your spliff. You're worried about making too much money, right? All of you people are worried about the wrong things. And you're not looking at the things that are really important. The Lord coming back and taking this place down. All right, so I just wanted to get that. Now, I have 3 articles that I'm going to share with you all today. The first one comes from the Daily Times. This was posted on March 30th, 2023, and it says, China, France companies complete first cross-border yuan settlement of liquefied natural gas trade. Now, isn't France a part of the whore? Right? No, not a part of the whore. A part of the beast system, right? That beast, NATO and the EU, right? You see it right here. He's a part of it. So this is pretty big, right? It's pretty big. Now he's making deals with China, the communist country, right? And France, they're about a democracy. They're about capitalism. Okay, but we all know that Emmanuel Macron is a Rothschild minion, right? We know that, so it doesn't matter. He's a puppet, so he's gonna do whatever the elites say, to bring in this new world order. It doesn't matter. But as you can see, they're a democratic nation and they believe in capitalism. So now they're working with communist China. But anyway, that's just business, and that's just how the world works. So it says here, China National Offshore Oil Corporation and France's Total Energies have reportedly completed China's first purchase of imported liquefied natural gas to be settled in Chinese yuan through the Shanghai Petroleum and Natural Gas Exchange. The deal is reported to have an energy content of 3.2 billion to 3.4 billion British thermal units, and the LNG comes from the United Arab Emirates. Shanghai Security News reported today it did not mention the value of the deal. So France is a part of NATO and the EU, and now they're ditching America for the communist Chinese to trade Arab energy in Chinese yuan. Come on, guys. Right? So there you go. All right, the US dollar is being ditched. America, and the beast, America, she sits upon the beast. The beast is angry at her, and they're leaving her. All right, so, and I'll put the links in the description so you can read it yourself. Now, here's another one. Where is this from? Kitco.com. And it says here, ex-Goldman chief economist calls on BRICS to challenge U.S. dollar's dominance as China leads the de-dollarization trend. This is posted, obviously, March 30th. And it says former Goldman Sachs chief economist Jim O'Neill is calling on the BRICS bloc to expand and challenge the dominance of the U.S. dollar. China's recent actions with the yuan are already doing just that. O'Neill said that the dollar's dominance destabilizes other nations' monetary policies. Yeah, that's right. It makes them broke. Makes them poor. It makes them do things that they don't want to do. It affects their sovereignty, right? Which is why the bloc made up of Brazil, Russia, India, China, and South Africa should counter it. So he's saying, go for it. Good for the BRICS. Everybody should challenge the dominance of the U.S. dollar. So that's a form of hate, man. They don't like you. Right? So this is an economist, man. Right? Ex-Goldman Sachs. So he's happy about this. So that should show you, the hate. Right? So pursuing to Revelation 17:6, and the 10 horns which thou sawest upon the beast, these shall hate the whore. That's a form of hate, man. I don't like you. We should challenge their dominance. That means they hate you, man. And shall make her desolate and naked, and shall eat her flesh and burn her with fire. Right? So it says the US dollar plays a far too dominant role in global finance. He wrote in a paper published in the Global Policy Journal, whenever the Federal Reserve Board has embarked on periods of monetary tightening, or the opposite, loosening, the consequences on the value of the dollar and the knock-on effects have been dramatic. That's right, because they're able to inflate the dollar, they're able to do they inflate it and it doesn't affect them and it affects you. They're able to do all these things with the dollar and manipulate you different countries and your different economies, man. So it is far too dominant, and that's why these nations, they want to take America down. Okay, so next article. This is the old world order for crude oil is disappearing, and this is from Forbes.com. It says here, Russian Energy Minister Nikolai Shulginov said on Tuesday that his country has now been able to redirect all its crude oil exports that have been impacted by Western sanctions over Ukraine to what he referred to as friendly countries. I can say today that we have managed to completely redirect the entire volume of exports affected by the embargo. There was no decrease in sales. Shulginov was quoted by Reuters as saying, wow, so, these embargoes, these sanctions didn't even affect them. It didn't even affect them. And they don't care. They don't care. And you know what this reminds me of? Ezekiel 38. Russia in these different countries, they have a way to live without you Americans, man. And you know what that means? Ezekiel 38 and 4. The prophecy of Gog and Magog, right? So it says, Ezekiel chapter 38, verse 4, and I will turn thee back and put hooks into thy jaw, and I will bring thee forth, and all thine army, horses and horsemen, all of them clothed with all sorts of armor, even a great company with bucklers and shield, all of them handling swords. That's right. And, you know, that hooks into their jaws is going into that old USSR Soviet communist spirit. Because back in the day, man, before the 90s, they were a communist empire. They were a communist powerhouse. And now they're getting that energy back. And that's why they're able to come out and say, man, look, man, your embargoes don't do shit. You know, we're getting stronger and stronger and stronger every day. And we're going to take you down. Right? Getting stronger and stronger. So this is all biblical prophecy. Everything that you're seeing here, man, this is all biblical prophecy. All right? So the Lord just has to open your eyes so you can believe it. But a lot of you people, man, you're not going to believe. You know, you're going to be caught up out there until the very end. All right, so let's get Obadiah chapter 1, verse 7. All the men of thy confederacy have brought thee even to the border. The men that were at peace with thee have deceived thee and prevailed against thee. They that eat thy bread have laid a wound under thee. There is none understanding in him. And that's going into Esau, Edom. But who's in control of America? Esau, Edom, starting with you elite banking families, man. And all the men of thy confederacy goes into Psalms 83rd chapter. And the majority of those nations are in NATO and the EU. Right? They're a part of it. You know, at one point they were at peace with you. They did what you said. But now they're against you. And guess what? They're going to prevail against you, man. Even though they made all those millions with you, they don't care. They don't care. Because it says the whore, she fornicated with the kings of the earth. You know, that fornication goes into business, commerce, trade, which is globalization, right? Made a lot of money off you, but that doesn't matter, man. It was a love-hate relationship. Even though they were making all this money off of you, they hated you, man, because of what you stand for. They hate you. All right, so that's just another precept I got. Let's get Jeremiah chapter 51, verse 7. Babylon hath been a golden cup in the Lord's hand that made all the earth drunken. The nations have drunken of her wine, therefore the nations are mad. Hey, and that's what you see here, right? In the picture, you know, that wine is going into the philosophies, man. Democracy, religion, idolatry, homosexuality, lies, adultery, covetousness, murder. They all took on those philosophies. Now they're mad. Right? Now they're mad. Now they're mad. You know, the American government, primarily under the Biden regime, even though it was before the Biden regime, you know, before they were threatening all these different governments, man. If you don't accept sodomy and cutting off body parts of your children under the guise of transgenderism, then we won't give you financial aid money. You know, a lot of these nations, they're mad, man, because of that. Upset about that bullshit. And now guess what they're doing? Now they're going with these communist countries like China, especially in Africa and these different Latin American countries. Now they're going with China and signing contracts with no strings attached. China's just like, okay, you know what? We'll give you the contracts, we'll give you the money. You don't have to go into these different philosophies that America gives you. All you got to do is just pay it back. Oh yeah, and we're gonna add we're gonna add interest on it. But you don't have to follow the philosophy. So guess what? All the other nations are like, fuck America. You know, I'm gonna just go with China and Russia. Fuck you. That's what they're gonna do, right? So that's the reason why they're ditching you is because they're mad. They're mad. So that's why they're going with China, and that's what you're seeing. That's what you're seeing right now. Right? That's what you're seeing. So Babylon had been a golden cup in the Lord's hand that made all the earth drunken. The nations have drunken of her wine, therefore the nations are mad. They're angry. Babylon is suddenly fallen and destroyed. Howl for her, take balm for her pain. If so, she may be healed. That's right. And you know that balm is going into those austerity measures, man. right? Austerity measures, those plans that you're trying to salvage your economy and trying to make it better, printing all this money, right? Trying to go protectionist. Well, that ain't gonna work. That's all balm for her. That's all balm for her pain. And that's like putting a Band-Aid on a gunshot wound, because America is so far gone. You're so far gone, man. You're in $1 trillion of debt. Your politicians, your people that control things, they're all corrupt. You consume 70% of the world's resources, but you don't produce shit. Can't recover, man. So you ain't gonna be healed, man. You're gonna be destroyed, man. And good for you. Good for you. All right. So anyways, that's all that I got here for today. So like I said, I'm gonna post the links in the description. Hope this was edifying. Till next time, I'm gonna say shalom. So this is Brother Gabari Allah, and I just want to give all praises, glory, and honor due unto Yahweh Ba'Shem Yahushai, Bahashem Rakah HaKodash, and double honors to the apostles and elders of Great Millstone GMS, and Kwam Yashallah, Shalom.